In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Dear friends, all of us have certain needs and all of us have certain desires. That's fine. We are able to fulfill some of our desires and some of our needs. Another, some of our desires or our needs are unfulfilled. We are striving, struggling, making every effort to fulfill it, to achieve it, but we are unable to do that. Dear friends, some of the needs are important and really important because these needs are not the momentary one, rather these needs are permanent. These needs are permanent. So if at all certain needs which are not just the desires but the genuine needs, and the genuine needs too, these genuine needs too are not the momentary one, rather these are forever. If at all there is a need and not a desire, and that too not a momentary one but a long term one, still we are unable to achieve that, to meet that. Obviously a person becomes unhappy and maybe psychologically somewhat disturbed. But there is something very important about it which is going to be discussed and debated upon in our today's talk. Dear friends, we the human beings, we are very short sighted people. We are very short sighted. We don't know what is going to happen after some of the time. If at all we look upon our past life, previous life, we come to know that there were certain things I was so desperate and desirous to get it, but once I did get, it proved counterproductive. My life became even more disturbed. I became even more unhappy than I earlier was. So that means that whatever I thought as something good for me was actually bad for me, and vice versa. There are certain other things which I thought are bad for me, but once it did occur, it actually proved good for me and beneficial for me. What does it tell us? It does tell us that we, the human beings, we are actually very short sighted. We are not the visionaries. We don't know exactly what is going to happen after some of the time. So, for this reason, if at all any desire of us, any long standing desire of us, any need of our, any genuine and long term need of our, if it all it is unfulfilled, despite the fact that we tried to achieve it, we worked hard for it, but despite all that, we could not achieve it. Maybe it is better for us not to have that particular need fulfilled. Maybe if at all we go for meeting that particular requirement and need of our, it might become very bad or even disastrous for us. We are short sighted. We are not the far-sighted human being at all. And even the human being in general is a very, very short-sighted one. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what will happen in the future and what is going to happen in the next stages of our life. Maybe if a need, a genuine need, is unfulfilled for the past so many years or maybe decades, I think so, again, it might not be as bad for us as we have been considering that it is bad. Also, there is another need to look upon the situation, and that is there are many other people who are in the same position. We are not alone. Not only this, certain other people are even in the worst kind of situation as compared to we, as compared to this person, and in keeping in view that particular need, that particular desire. So I am of the view that we need to change our perspective and we need to think differently. If at all we do start thinking differently and we become even more and more positive, I think it is better than becoming unhappy and keeping and putting and pushing ourselves toward any sort of depression, a bad feeling. Now, there is still another thing. That other thing is that our life as a whole, maybe our life as a whole is better than many of the people, maybe than most of the people. If this be the case, I think we need to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever you have given me, whatever you have gifted me with, that is I am happy. I am happy with it. My life is a very temporary one. If at all certain needs or certain desires are unfulfilled, I am grateful to you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am not unhappy at all. On the one hand, I believe whatever you have given me is in my best interest, and whatever you have not given me, even this thing too is in my own best interest as well. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my life is a very temporary one. If at all my life is that much temporary, so what is the need to become worried and what is the need to become unhappy? We don't need to become unhappy at all. We don't need to become worried at all, because my life will be finished soon and another type of life will begin. That life of mine will be an unending life. It will never ever end. And if at all I am wise enough, if at all I am intelligent enough, so for that reason and for that purpose, it is far better for me if at all I remain focused upon that life. And as far this life is concerned, I should be doing the minimum, or I shouldn't be that much unhappy and that much depressed at all if at all certain needs of mine, certain desires of mine are unfulfilled, despite the fact that I have been working to achieve it, to have it, not only for several days, several months, several years, rather even if at all we are working for several decades, even then we need to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, whatever you have given me is the best for me, and whatever you have not given me during this life, I am very much happy with it. I am very much happy with it, because oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do know what I don't know. I am a very humble creature of your creation of yours. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I do have a complete trust in you. Whatever you do and whatever you don't do for me, Jazakumullah khair.